So we all know I'm a big fan of useless machines in Minecraft. I built a bunch of them in my time, and for me personally, they're always just hilariously fun to watch. But today we are going to be taking it to the next level. We're going to be building the most complex useless machine I can possibly manage. Now this all stemmed from a fairly simple idea. Whenever I've built a useless machine in the past, the piston has only ever come out from one location. It could be a cool location, we've had really complex ones in the past, but it's only ever one location. There's one piston that can break the lever. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be really cool if there were loads of different ways that the piston could pop out? So maybe there's one off in this direction, one off in the other direction, one that pops out from the floor, one that drops in from the ceiling, one that comes out from over here. You know, there's just all sorts of different ways in which that lever can be broken. Right, I'm hoping, so we've got one that comes in from this direction, one that comes in from that direction. I guess we'll need a sticky piston underneath here. That will retract this block to make way for that piston, so that's all fine. We have one that comes in from the top. However, I'm kind of thinking about that one, because I want other ways that it gets destroyed. Maybe that one can be water. So that will drop water through on top of it. So we'll move this piston out of the way, and that will drop the water through, so it'll be like a water chamber up at the top there. There's got to be some other things that I can do here. Now, I'm hoping this works. So if I was to have a bit of water in this area here, yes, it does. So it automatically directs across into that hole that I've just created. Okay, that's definitely one that I need to do. This has got to be my new favorite way in which this thing's going to get destroyed. I've just destroyed my button. This is going to be so stupid. Okay, I think we have 8 different ways in which our lever can be destroyed. So I guess the first thing that we have to do is we need to hook up the redstone output from the lever, which is going to come out from this block here. And then I guess we need to run it straight into a randomizer, which is going to decide which of the 8 outputs we're actually going to get through this thing. And I have to say, it's looking pretty big. I mean, this is 1/2 of our randomizer output. So you can see we've got 4 outputs, individual ones coming out there. And then I'm just in the process of building up the other half. But for some reason, I didn't expect this to be quite as massive as it's already become. I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a computer. Turns out that isn't actually what was wrong. I was actually missing a handful of pistons and repeaters, and some of my timings were incorrect. So that's now all been fixed up. And now we actually have a 1 in 8 randomizer that is functioning. So every single time I hit one of these buttons, we get a 1 in 8 chance of any of these pistons firing, and it's a completely equal chance between all of the pistons, which is brilliant. So now we just have to start hooking up these outputs from this thing into the various circuits that we actually need to create. In fact, you know, I think I'm going to create the circuits first, and then we'll start wiring them into this thing. Right, so let's see if part 1 is working. So we just need to move that out of the way. Alright, that was pretty quick. So our piston's been pushed out, and then we should have... We almost had the full retraction, but... okay, yeah, because that's going to take longer to retract. I mean, I guess we push this... We just expand this out. We don't really have to worry about things being compact anymore, considering we have that hanging out the back. So if we were to... set this maybe to 4 ticks, that can be on 6 ticks. This is a redstone dust. And then if we grab our lever, that should now do the trick. Yes, okay, that's done it. Right, we just need to do this block retraction down at the bottom. Now I'm hoping that with this setup right here, which is an absolutely enormous setup, we should now have a system that functions. So there we go, that's just fired it through. And yes, our lever has been broken and the piston has retracted out the way. Okay, that's brilliant. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to copy what we have going on over here onto the other side, because we have a second one on this side. Okay, so that's 2 done. Now, next up, we have got some very simple ones. We've got, okay, so in the center here, there's actually going to be a sticky piston. So that's going to be a really, really easy one, because that's just going to push the block across, which is instantly going to break the lever. So that will be nice and easy. And I think I'm actually going to wire that and then this one into these 2 central bits of the randomizer. And you know what? Now that I'm actually thinking about it, there's a few more that are ridiculously simple. I think there's another one down at the bottom here. Yep. So that one... Ooh. we could genuinely run into a problem there. How could I mean, there's nothing I can really do with that. The reason that I'm having to use a slime block is because this lever is going to power the block. So the system would actually break the lever before we get an output through it, which isn't what we want, actually. We don't want it to break the lever too early. But I can't move these observers. I've thought something through, and I have to say, I think it's actually quite smart. So look, this is how it's going to be most of the time. And then when it retracts, it will do this, and it will leave the observers up at the top, and then I can also use those pistons, I can power these pistons, to send an update through the observer when I need the update to be sent through the observer for this circuit. I mean, that is... I'm proud of myself for this one, I have to say. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... and then I guess that can run straight in there. Okay, so that's that one hooked up. As far as I can tell, we only have 2 left, which is the triple piston extender up at the top, and then also our water pistons, which we have 1 piston down there. That's going to be retracting that block to let the water out. And then this piston down here, which is going to allow the water to flow into that hole. Now I'm curious to see if this works. That was almost a very pleasant surprise. So that goes all the way down, but then when it comes to the retraction, it just needs to be a tiny bit slower. I wonder if I just run the redstone in like that. I'm a bit confused here, so... Oh, that's extended in the wrong order. Yes, I've managed to pull it off. So there we go. If we flick the lever, you can see our piston pops down. It will break the lever, and then it will all get retracted back up to the top. Okay, this is brilliant. And now we have... So the lava has now been added in. We've added in all of the lava droppage, and I've added in a circuit that actually allows that lava to drop down. And I've just been testing that out. So that all seems to be working. We just need a repeater 2 ticks there. And then all we need to do is we need to connect up this redstone line here, I'm guessing into some form of pulse extender, so that we actually get a decently long pulse on that one. So I'll quickly do that. And then this thing will actually be functioning. We will have built the most ridiculous, useless machine I think there's ever been seen in Minecraft. Now what I will say is, the chances of this thing working first time, every single element working first time, is probably about 1 in a billion. There's so many different components to this circuit that I haven't actually tested out yet, that I don't think it's all going to come together coherently. But oh, actually, just looking at that lava there, that reminds me, I actually need to put the water in place, which is going to be clearing out our lever. So, now that I've actually hooked up our input into the system, let's give it a go now. So, flicking the lever, and alright, so the first one that we got was water, and I'm going to make sure that that water hasn't actually just cleaned out a bunch of redstone, because that would be one of the things that happened. Okay, so that's that. Alright, we flick the lever again. What's going to happen this time? I mean, there's a very, very low chance of that happening, but it is believable. Let's try again. There's got to be some funny business going on here. Surely. Yeah, what's going on? Having done a little bit more testing, there doesn't seem to be an issue. Which is pretty crazy considering there's a 1 in 4,096 chance of me getting that same thing 4 times in a row. Anyway, if we keep playing with this, you can see that we get all sorts of different things going on. We've got anvils flying in. If we flick the lever again. Oh, okay, that block pushed it out this time. Flick it again. And this time, alright, that piston's popped out and broken the lever. I could play with this thing all day. This is an incredibly satisfying redstone contraption. It's just really fun to use. Look, down comes the lava. Oh, let's try again. I mean, I'm just... Have we had everything so far? So that piston's just popped out? I don't know. I can't think of what else we have. So we're getting lava again. One thing, I don't think we've had this piston dropping down just yet. So I wonder if we can get that. Let's see. Okay, that block. As I say, this is one of those things that I'm heavily enjoying. I could I could honestly do this all day long. Maybe that means I've got an incredibly boring life, but I just like playing with this sort of thing. Come on, it has to do the drop down at some point. I mean, that's probably one of my personal favorite ones. It's taunting me here. I haven't got it yet. I've tried this out probably about 50 times. Yes, there it is. And oh, it's a little bit dangerous. That's something that I hadn't really thought of, but you know what? That's also quite cool. So there we go. That is the most ridiculous, useless machine I could possibly build in Minecraft. Now, obviously, the reason that these things are cool is that you do actually get a redstone output through this thing. If you wanted to use this as some form of strange hidden entrance, then you absolutely could. You could just hook it up to a redstone door, and that could be how you get into your base. See, look, as soon as I don't want it to happen, I've been waiting for that for ages, and then there, you get 2 in a row. That's how these things work. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this redstone video. If you have, please sure to that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.